She loved how he was emotionless until her mom was in the hospital due to heart surgery, and she wanted him to comfort her, but he physically couldn't cause he was so empty inside. After we got back together, Sienna became unusually clingy. She had to report everything, what she ate, what she drank, who she saw. One day, she called, her tone testing the waters. Lindsay's bringing some younger guys to the spa resort. She wants me to go. Oh, I said, have fun. The line went dead. 20 minutes later, she was blocking my doorway, demanding in a hoarse voice, you'd really just let me go off with other people? I took a step back under her gaze. Isn't this the boundaries you wanted? My words hung in the air, and she froze. Are you done? If you're done, you can leave. I really don't mind. Worried she might misunderstand, I added helpfully, don't worry, I'll play along for your parents tomorrow. Sienna's face instantly darkened. Caleb, you've got a real goddamn nerve. She slammed the door and left. The commotion had completely shattered my sleepiness. I curled back under the covers and scrolled through my phone. At 2 in the morning, an unknown number sent me a few pictures. A young guy, wearing nothing but swim trunks, his pale body pressed against Sienna from behind. The air was thick with steam. His arms were wrapped casually around her waist, only a thin layer of fabric separating them. Hey, man, I'm scared of the water. So Sienna was just helping me out. You're so lucky to have such a caring wife, Tilda. I stared at the screen, considering my options. Should I get up and go catch her in the act? No, it was too late. My driver was off for the night, and getting a ride would be a pain. Well then maybe right along. Scathing text to tear her apart. The weather was too cold, my hands would freeze. Maybe I could just copy and paste one of my old rants from our chat history. As I scrolled back through our old fights, I actually fell asleep. No wonder Sienna never bothered to read them. Once you strip the emotion away, the words were just long-winded and tedious. Excellent sleep aid, though. The next day was New Year's Day, and we went to the Vaughn family estate. I was chatting with the elders when the doorbell rang. I opened the door to find the same boy from last night's photo, standing there, looking shy. He was clutching a bikini top. This was left at my place yesterday. The style was bold and youthful. In this house, there was only one person it could belong to. The whole scene felt sickeningly familiar. The year we got engaged, another boy had shown up just like this. I'd lost it, grabbed him by the throat, and thrown him to the ground. Sienna had pushed me off, and without a backward glance, led the boy away, leaving me a pathetic mess on the floor. The estate was in chaos that night. No one had a happy new year. The old folks say you shouldn't start the new year on a bad note. Sure enough, that was the year Sienna and I fought the most. The living room was silent. Everyone was waiting for my reaction. I immediately smoothed things over with a smile. Oh, that's my cousin. He grew up overseas. We were all together for the New Year's countdown last night. Sienna's father breathed a sigh of relief, but her mother's eyes were filled with suspicion. Really? Absolutely, I said, pulling the boy inside and shutting the door. The last flicker of hope in Sienna's eyes died out. On the drive back, I pulled the bikini top from my pocket and tossed it to her. She stammered out an explanation. Last night wasn't what you think. That guy is Lindsay's brother, and I was drunk. Nothing happened. I tore open an antiseptic wipe and meticulously cleaned my hands. Just drop me off here. Leo invited me for a poker game. Sienna swallowed hard, her voice softening. I can pick you up when you're done. No need, I said, pushing the car door open. You do your thing. I didn't want to know what that bikini had been through. I was just afraid of catching something vile. A long, hot shower at Leo's place and a change into the fresh clothes he'd laid out for me finally cleared the suffocating feeling in my chest. Leo watched Sienna's car drive off, then raised an eyebrow at me. So, how'd the battle go? What was the score? Why didn't you call for backup? I sank into the couch. There was no battle. Scaring off the woman is one thing, but I can't afford to scare off the money. That New Year's Day, the Vaughn estate had been a war zone. Several of the elders had been so upset they ended up in the hospital. As I lay on the cold ground, it was Leo who finally showed up and bundled my mud-caked self into his sports car. As he turned the key, he couldn't resist a jab. Living out your childhood dream at the Vaughns. Rolling around in a mud pit. I opened my mouth to reply, but tears came out first. Leo, how did it get like this? He panicked, fumbling to wipe my tears, but he had no answers. No one could have imagined Sienna and I would end up in such a toxic mess. We were childhood sweethearts, practically knew each other since we were in diapers. I'd worked my ass off to get into the same university as her, waking up before the sun and studying long after midnight, giving it everything I had. The day I got my acceptance letter, my mom was amazed. If I'd known you'd kill yourself studying for Sienna, why would I have spent a fortune on tutors? Everyone assumed that Caleb Reed and Sienna Vaughn were meant to be, but just as we finally grew up, just as we no longer had to share a cheap slice of pizza from a food truck, she let go of my hand. She despised her family for controlling her future, for forcing her to give up her dream of being a musician to inherit the family company, and that resentment peaked when I agreed to our engagement. Back then, I was too blinded by my own happiness, too thrilled at the thought of finally marrying the girl of my dreams, to notice that the love in her eyes had long since vanished. After the engagement, she was never home. I'd wake up to my phone flooded with updates from well-meaning friends. Sienna just dropped a fortune on some new model. Sienna was surrounded by people at a yacht party. Sienna threw herself another wedding party somewhere else. Those messages were like mold in a damp season, impossible to wipe away completely. I used to scream, chase her for answers, go insane, making a spectacle of myself for everyone to see. All it earned me was Sienna's deepening disgust. Can't you have some boundaries? You don't like it? Fine, go tell my mother to call off the engagement. Leo accurately described our relationship as less like a married couple, and more like a rebellious teenager and their desperate mother. One was trying to escape, and the other was clinging on for dear life. I thought I would be tangled up with her like this forever. But one day, in the middle of a fight, I just got tired. Brothers don't need words. A single look is enough. Seeing my unusual calm, Leo asked softly, "So, what's the plan?" I took the warm water he offered. "The London project. My family and the Vaughns have invested a lot. I'm going to oversee it myself." "For how long?" 3 years, for now. He slung an arm around my shoulders, reluctant to let me go. "We'll party hard before you leave." My treat. I grinned and punched him lightly in the chest. "You're not getting off that easy." "Sorry, due to copyright issues I am unable to continue updating the next chapter. If you like the book, if you like this book, circ 289,699 on Moda Novel, to read this book.